Hello, everybody.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy. Remember it so you don't have to. Let's be honest, if you took Pixar out of the equation, Disney would still be putting out some damn good CGI films. From Tangled to Wreck-It Ralph to Frozen to Moana, Disney has been making smash after smash, winning over both audiences and critics. Some of them are even among the highest grossing movies of all time. It's amazing the quality of films they're pushing out. God, did it not start that way?
Welcome to Chicken Little.
We're here.
This movie is a lot worse than I remember it being.
Oh, I remember like the entire movie. I love it so much.
I watched it and just unlocked memories I don't remember that I had.
Being Disney's second computer animated film without Pixar, Chicken Little is among one of the most awkward, uncomfortable, mean-spirited movies they've ever made. And don't get me wrong, I love mean-spirited Disney. Whether it be their villains, creepy imagery, or whatever the Christ this is. But that's not what Chicken Little is. It's supposed to be bright, colorful, and upbeat, but instead it's eerie, disturbing, and as upbeat as an animated series on the good Sun. How did such a thriving CG empire hatch from such an ugly, rotten egg? Well, we're here to take an unfortunate look. Let's see why our IQs are falling with Chicken Little.
Walt Disney.
Walt Disney.
The movie is so unclear with its tone that it actually has 3 false starts.
Where to begin?
How about the beginning?
How about once upon a time?
No.
How many times have you heard that to begin a story? No, I don't think so. It sounds familiar, doesn't it? Oh, no, not the book. How many have seen opening the book before?
Is this about to have the Shrek storybook intro for some reason?
Dude, we know this is going to be a semi-subversive take on an ancient folktale, but we also know this ain't Shrek, so if I hear Smash Mouth's All-Star fire up in a few minutes, I'm really going to be pissed.
Can we start?
Start the movie!
No, literally our intro went about as well as this sequence right now.
I know. Movie begins with a double sin of narration and a once upon a time cliche. I don't care if it's a fake out and the narration changes course, you can't have your sin and eat it too. Or something like that.
You know, naming cliches surprisingly doesn't make you above them. You have to actually do something with them. It's like if I start off a movie with, this movie starts in a store, no a house, no a bar. Sorry, sometimes I type my post-it notes into the script. So they decide to go with, I guess, no intro, as we just cut to Chicken Little telling everybody to run for cover.
Why is this panning between my ears?
Run for your lives! Everyone run for cover!
By the end of the movie, we learn that Chicken Little has been smacked in the head by a blue octagonal piece of faulty alien tech, so he has a legitimate reason to be terrified. I just find it hard to believe that he opted to race to a bell tower rather than investigate the piece of sky and call over one of the many nearby adults.
I know we're like 2 seconds in, but can we talk about how awful this looks?
Yeah, everything's the same brightness everywhere. Also, that building in the background just looks flat.
It does.
Yeah, that is not a real asset.
Ew, why is that one looking right at the camera? I hate that.
But yeah, this building is brighter than the sky, which is not how that works.
What monster restaurant owner served bowls of water directly beside salt and pepper shakers? All the salt and pepper will be ruined with the water slobber leaking into it. And then the next guy who wants to liven up his bland meal will be thwarted by a congealed spice blob.
I guess what's supposed to be funny is rabbits have a lot of kids. How they all fit into one stroller is at least an abstractly forced joke.
Hey, did you know rabbits can reproduce a lot? Like, a lot? Of course you did, but my bigger question is how this mom fit all these little assholes into this clown car of a stroller. Jesus, the true start of the movie is a solid 90 seconds of adorable animals screaming and running for their lives. Mom and Dad were like, hey kids, want to go see a fun movie about Chicken Little? And then they left the theater with traumatized children, and the bullying and gender bias jokes haven't even started yet.
Emergency!
Whoa! That thing, wow. That is the world's strongest wooden ladder that it just goes through a metal frame.
The world's weakest metal car.
Yeah, that car's made out of cheese and glass. That's why it's sliced so easily.
That is the most rigid cheese.
My favorite afternoon snack, cheese and glass.
Oh yeah, this is the Indiana Jones joke. I love that it's like targeting people. It has no like set trajectory. It's just like, I want to kill.
Whoever designed this water tower is an absolute dumb clock. Though we see water spout out as the ball detaches, the ball is actually a solid and indestructible sphere that will decimate the town. Drought, you're f***ed, because there's no way to get to the water. Tower tips? Also f***ed, because this ball will crush you mercilessly. I mean, all these people are absolutely dead.
Look at that, the true 4D experience.
How's this for world building? A universe comprised entirely of animals is watching Indiana Jones. This universe is as coherent as a VR chat room. Nothing is established.
Genuine question, is the live action movie in an animated universe their equivalent of an animated movie?
Yes.
They're really good at animation in this universe, but the universe itself is not animated well.
Yeah, they somehow made their CG look better than real life.
Fun fact, the reason this movie is less than 90 minutes long and the CG is so subpar is that the production budget allocated 45% to this clip of a Paramount feature.
As if all of this wasn't aggressively nonsensical enough, keep in mind, we're not even 2 minutes in. Nothing is properly established except Zootopia's direct-to-DVD sequel clearly needed 10 more rewrites.
And just like Zootopia and The Secret Life of Pets, all animals live in harmony with each other and can understand each other's English perfectly, except for some dumb bird or something that's bound to show up later and only speak in chirps or giggles.
Chicken Little! What is it? What's going on?
You know, the bulk of the damage this town sustains is due to this fire dog. He was driving on the wrong side of the road, which caused him to swerve, caused the ladder to come loose, which smashed into the yellow car, causing her to hit the fire hydrant, which loosened the water tower death ball. And sure, Chicken Little rang the bell that made everyone lose their goddamn minds, but the rest of the movie acts like everything's just his fault, when there clearly were other idiots to blame for the insane amounts of destruction.
This is 12-year-old Chicken Little, voiced by 30-year-old Zach Braff.
I know it's here. There's a piece of the sky somewhere.
That matches as well as Dr. Claw voicing Ariel.
I'm ready to know what the people know.
Says the sky is falling, but everyone thinks he confused it for an acorn.
And it hit me on the head. And it looked like a stop sign. Well, look, wait. What's that?
Son, is this what hit you?
It doesn't help either that he starts saying gibberish. For never any established reason.
Big acorn level fly.
What did he say?
Big acorn level fly.
I wonder what that is backwards. I still stand by Garden State. Oh!
It was just an acorn that hit my son. A little
No,
acorn.
Dad, no.
Yo, I know Chicken Little was pretty panicked, but he's also like 10. Why did the entire town react like he was the chief of police sounding an actual alarm about an emergency?
I love the dad.
I love how unreasonably huge he is for a chicken, by the way. Chicken Little being that size makes a lot more sense than his dad, who's just a behemoth big bird monster.
Dude, I hear your point there about the sky not being a solid object.
Yes.
Well, that's why everyone thinks he's crazy.
But listen, buddy, listen to me, bub. That was a fake sky, like the sky above us right now. It's fake.
The moon projection.
This movie's trying to tell us the truth.
Every other planet's a sphere, but the Earth is flat. You listen.
Your kid went and scared us all half to death.
Was it the ringing of the bell that scared you, or that the town occupants immediately panicked and ran around as if being chased by killer bees? Not one person approached the bell tower like, hey, there, little guy, are you okay? Or who the got a kid up into the bell tower? Everyone instantly ran for their lives in all directions with zero chill. In this world, a tiny town has 10 news sources instantly organized to drag a scared child at the oak tree, and then an entire goddamn production company approves a movie designed to make the kid feel like an absolute hell. This is hell. Holy this podunk Okie Oaks town has a goddamn movie studio? Why were they just showing Raiders of the Lost Ark in the theater if they've been pumping out new releases?
So the town makes a movie about him, as towns do. As it's 1 year later, and Little's father, voiced by Gary Marshall, constantly reminds him of his failure.
It would be better for you just to lay low, don't call attention to yourself, right?
Yes, but
See,
how about-
it's like a game. Yeah, a game of hide and seek, except the gold is never to be found, ever.
The important thing is you feel no love from me, like my audience's reaction to the other sister.
There's a bumper sticker. I knew it was only a matter of time.
Hey, look, it's the ADHD bit.
Honestly.
Man, they sure are going for the highbrow, cerebral humor in this movie, huh?
The last 5 movies we've watched, there's just been a thing in the background of a conversation.
You can't have a serious conversation in a kid's movie. God forbid kids have to put any effort into their brain.
The f*** is up with this chicken teeth on Little? Them are horrifying. Hell, if they'd shown this today, there'd be a public outcry for the animators to completely redo the rendering on the main character.
So yeah, you talked about the animation earlier. These look like they aren't finished. This is like the behind the scenes, like in the middle of them animating it.
It looks like Marvel's like previs stuff where they like do the really crappy source filmmaker animation of the scene first.
What it looks like to me is that they exported the movie and then they didn't like do any color grading on it.
Really out here with that Captain America Civil War color.
This father-son conversation in the car goes on for all the some time. Some of the all-time. All of the all-time. It's long.
Yeah. Okay.
His car is an egg.
You know, it took me 17 years to notice that car was an egg.
Yeah, you see the car is an egg and the inside is yellow because it's the yolk.
Does that mean all Prius drivers are chickens, Bren?
Yes.
Look, Mama, there's the crazy chicken.
Jesus Christ, what is with this town? This little bastard is like 11 years old now, and everyone within the metro area is cool with openly mocking him for well over a year straight. How has Chicken Little not retaliated and ended up in juvie by now?
Okay, he rung a bell, not decapitated a student. Book burnings have more tolerance than this.
Where the hell did all these kids come from? Chicken Little was standing on the corner alone ever since his dad dropped him off. Also, why are these little dickheads this excited about going to school? Is everyone in this city on a massive number of drugs? Also, why are they all riding the bus? Anyway, this town is small as hell, and the school can't be that far away. Hell, half the population are birds, so why don't they fly to school? Bus bullies. I won't play it right now, but just trust me that this is a total terrible pop song by a decent band, plays over the opening sequence of an animated kids movie cliche. When you think back on this movie and feel bad for Chicken Little, remember that this little asshole could have returned the papers to the briefcase sitting right there, but opted instead to run them through on the guy's own horn. So which of these anthropomorphized animals is not only addicted to bubblegum, but is also a littering bastard? Okay, before now I thought this town was full of assholes that were mean to a kid. Turns out they're also a bunch of homicidal maniacs. This f***ing guy can clearly see Chicken Little out in the middle of the road and doesn't even slow down. Why is Little even trying to get to school without his pants? Isn't this like everyone's worst nightmare? Go home and get a new pair, you pervert. Also, how do you get that soda out of the machine if he doesn't have his pants, which presumably hold his money? You'd think I'd send this accidental flashing, and it is sinful, but I'm more worried about these young cheerleaders attempting a very dangerous formation without any adult supervision.
He makes it to class where Patrick Stewart plays his greatest role since a pile of shit.
Why isn't he wearing clothes?
He's got a coat. The feathers weren't good enough though, Bren. Or the fur on the other animals.
Foxy Loxy,
Present pretty and punctual.
runt of the litter.
Ha ha ha, you see? It's funny because he's a fat pig, and that makes it impossible to do normal things like bend over and pick up his pencil. Hey, why aren't you laughing?
Ducky Lucky, Fuzzy Wuzzy, fish out of water.
He appears.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
I knew something looked off.
How hard would it have been to leave him in those 5 frames you needed?
I'll just point out that diving helmets weigh roughly 55 pounds, and this fish either has the strongest neck and shoulder muscles known to man, or you movie.
Happy Mallard
Ugly duckling.
will not tolerate rude behavior at the expense of a
No
fellow.
worries, Mr. Wollensworth.
Hello? Hello? This is the 1950s. We'd like our cartoon sound effect at something ugly back. Well, I'm sorry, I have no control over that. Oh. Well, who does? I suppose the people who made this movie. But they made it in 2005, right? Yeah. Wouldn't they have moved on to newer material by then? Well, one would think for Disney. Oh, God. Disney used that joke? They must be in a rut. Well, they will be for a while, but believe it or not, they do pull out. Why am I still going with this joke?
You mustn't sneak up on me, ugly, Abby.
Sneak. She's sitting in her chair ready for class to start. Oh, am I missing the super funny joke about people with buck teeth being shockingly disturbing to look at?
She looks just as ugly as every other character in this movie.
Literally, she just has teeth, and that's the only thing throwing this off is that she has very visible teeth.
You're right.
That kid's in braces and a fox. This guy is a sheep.
He looks like one of those sponges that like has been used for 3 years.
Chicken Little.
Where is that person's eye behind her?
Oh.
Oh.
How did you forget an eye? It's a character model.
Are we just gonna find like a billion animation mistakes like this awful crap?
Oh, absolutely.
Has anyone noticed, by the way, the animation moves like a choppy cutscene from a PlayStation 2 game? Everyone is either spastic or has more Molly in them than the movie Ghost.
Dodgeball.
Pump it, pump it, pump it.
Split into 2 teams. Popular versus unpopular.
Move over, George Orwell. Someone else is beating you for best commentary.
This satire of PE is pretty funny, I'll grant you that. But it's also so on the nose that it makes Cyrano de Bergerac look like nothing more than a movie about sword fighting.
Coach! Yeah, unpopular.
Shouldn't we review safety guidelines?
Sure. Hit the pig, kids.
Why do I feel like this world is one step away from Man in the High Castle?
Calm down, Ron. Just do what Fish is doing.
Waste copyright money on a song for a joke that blows?
The song is only good when it's not being played in a movie.
No, it's never good because I want you to picture this. You make $8 an hour, first of all. That's where we're starting with this. You're wearing an apron that's a little too warm, and every 25 minutes over the store speakers, distorted and reverbed, you hear everybody dance now while someone's complaining to you about the price of sauce.
Every single day.
Why would they play that in a store?
I wanted to just jump out the front windows or into the garbage baler. One of the two.
I had a run-in with my old nemesis.
Gum in the crosswalk.
He won this round.
Oh, so earlier he had a sucker at the ready because this has happened before, which makes me wonder why he wouldn't also have prepared by packing a spare pair of shorts in his mysterious body pockets.
Chicken Little tells Ugly Duckling, played by Joe Cusack, that he wants to do something great to get everyone's mind off the goof-up they made a year ago and make his dad proud again. But she doesn't think it's a good idea.
The nut needs to be cracked open. Bam! Smash! Bits of emotion flying everywhere. Anger, frustration, denial, fear. You see what I'm saying?
Character over-explains something that nobody understands. Classic outdated comedy. Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready? Ready! Ha! No.
So he's out, right? How the f*** is Runt back in the game right now? His ass got tagged a few minutes ago, and nobody's caught anything. Sure, you can make an argument for the stork, but there's no way that shit is legal. Damn it, hasn't the coach learned the rules by watching this game on ESPN The Ocho? How are these balls still inflated? And why was this prickly asshole allowed to play this game in the first place? But who are they calling? Their peers are also in school, unless they're calling each other. In which case, one of these assholes is pulling one of those pretend to call someone to look cool gags, and that should be reserved for walking alone at night.
You said the sky was falling. Your dad didn't support you.
And this movie doesn't trust that we are fully aware of this, considering that is all that has happened so far.
There's a whole section about it in this month's Modern Mallard.
She says he needs closure with his father, but Fish Out of Water uses the cars that fall out of her magazine to build a skyscraper. I thank this movie for allowing me to reference Loaded Weapon 1 by asking the question, you stole from Loaded Weapon 1?
I get it. Someone spent an entire day animating this piece of paper and they wanted it to be on screen as many times as they could. But for those of us who look for these things, I just can't let it slide. If I see this paper one more time, I'm adding 100 cents.
Girls are good at honest communication and sensitivity.
I will forever remember the sound of a dodgeball hitting you in the face. That's a sound that stays with you for the rest of your life.
It's a sound you feel.
That is like the perfect sound.
It's like a cartoon sound effect that's just so absolutely perfect.
Little tells the bullies to stop picking on them, but he's flung against the window, adding to the good cheer this film has to offer. I guess this is done while the teacher is gone, but really, wouldn't it be encouraged while the teacher was there? This world is pretty sick. He sets off the fire alarm, though, of course getting blamed.
Roll credits.
You know those like people on TikTok that collect fire alarms?
I'm sorry, what?
That's a thing?
There's people who collect fire alarms and like the fire alarm strobes and sirens and switches and all this stuff, and they like rig it up.
Stole an entire fire alarm system instead.
Now look, Buck. You were Buck Ace Cluck, our school baseball star. Your kid, he's nothing like you at all.
Expositional apology? Exposology? Hey, that kind of sounds like a religion founded by a whack job of a science fiction writer, doesn't it? Also, it's very convenient that the trophy case is on display right outside the principal's office, just in case he has to reference his star students while their progeny are sitting right outside.
That in no way connects to anything, but it's good to know the principal's as big a dick in this world as anyone else.
I'll take care of my son.
The lighting budget for this school must be terrible. Why else would you leave a kid in the dark and only light the lamppost over the car and none along the drive?
You don't have to explain anything.
Okay, we get it. Move on.
God damn, this movie switches moods on a dime. Hate, vitriol, optimism, camaraderie, depression, interpersonal conflict. If I wanted this roller coaster, I'd just check my Twitter timeline.
Come on. All I need is a chance.
Wishing on a non-shooting star, or in this case, UFO. My point is, he should have better known better.
Well, he's a Gemini, so he can't be good at anything, so...
He's not a Gemini, he's a chicken. Morcubine, porcupine. It's Morkin time.
Oh my god.
Not again.
Little decides to sign up for the baseball team to try and make his dad proud, but he's constantly benched.
5 acorns will buy a paper, but earlier we saw Foxy Loxy chuck a paper lunch bag full of acorns out the bus window, so I'm confused. Are acorns money? Food? Both? And how am I supposed to feel about someone being in an acorn mascot uniform? Is he embodying the dollar, or a sandwich?
That's 2 in the hole. One more strike gets a punch out, folks, and we're all going home.
Today
a new day.
Today is a new day.
Hold on, I gotta.
Oh, hey, Joe Rogan, what's going on, man?
Oh no, that's not what I was.
That sounds like AM radio. That's what that sounds like.
Back to the herd with Colin Cowherd.
Up next, Chicken Little. Check Zipper. Where the hell are his pants? Or his legs, for that matter?
He's gonna lose the game for us! Disney, you're gonna fail and we don't love you.
You have an itty-bitty, teeny-tiny strike zone. There's no way he can throw you out. Just take the walk, don't swing.
A fair strategy that they perhaps should have exploited throughout the entire season. God damn, where's the pitching in this game? The bullpen must have a bunch of lowlifes with noodle arms.
This scene lasts like 15 minutes long, and it looks like they created this location in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, this is some Unity engine with a background crap. That grass is a tile. It's disgusting.
One of the key locations in your movie, and you could have made it look like a little bit better.
The baseball scene is literally like a pivotal point.
A hit?
A hit?
Jesus, you guys, no thank you. Too many in a row and it ruins the sweet spot and the buzz, you know? You know, for a town that worships baseball as much as these assholes, they sure do flout the hell out of the actual rules.
Why is the dirt 4K and everything else is disgusting?
They can do dirt and hair sometimes.
Oh, look, the cow's missing an eye again.
Void!
You see, it wasn't like that before.
Yeah, he's got eyes right there.
How did you forget the eyes?
Yeah, it's part of the character model, unless it's not.
Comes back down and they're gone.
It's so devoid of life and disgusting.
Safe!
Wait, this ump overturns his own call without a replay or a coach's challenge? I could believe these sentient animals live in a humanized town with cars and businesses and sporting events, but this is a bridge too far.
Surprisingly, though, he makes a hit, immediately winning over the town's bottomless pit of shallow attention.
Jesus Christ, this crowd celebrates so long, you'd think they just rescued Mark Watney from the vacuum of space after 549 souls.
Even his asshole dad congratulates his athletic achievement with passive-aggressive praise.
I guess that puts the whole sky is falling incident behind us once and for all.
My love for you is like a grocery store staff, constantly shifting depending on convenience.
Clinching your father's affection by winning at sports. I may as well be watching Varsity Blues.
Oh, jeez, you know.
Hey, look, it's foreshadowing. His blanket's in polygonal shapes.
Oh, because it's like sky colors as well, too.
It's foreshadowing.
To the thing that's going to happen in like 5 minutes. I can't wait for that guy on YouTube Shorts. Did you know that in Chicken Little, the bed looks like the sky pattern? And that's the entire video.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He's like, did you know that in Coco, the name of the movie is Coco?
He plays guitar, which is an instrument. God's about to send a star at his face at full force and kill him. Me, when I was little, seeing an airplane and thinking it was a UFO.
Apparently a piece of the sky falls, but he keeps it a secret so people don't mock him again.
Piece of the sky? Shaped like a stop sign? Not again!
It's like the filmmakers took an already ludicrous premise, then added animals and baseball, dusted off their hands, sent the email to Disney, then handed out for 3 weeks of cocktails.
That's not shaped like a star. It's a hexagon, Chicken Little.
I'm looking up what an octagon is.
This stop sign is an octagon!
Never mind. What's the difference? Look, the past is behind us, right? Tomorrow's going to be a new day.
Okay, last time there was no proof of his claim about the sky falling, but this time it's right there. Can't he just point to it and be like, hey, what do you think this is, Pop?
No, he doesn't want to tell his dad that the sky is falling, but like you could show him the piece of alien technology.
Yeah, this would literally clear up everything.
We wouldn't have a movie if he did that.
Yes, we would. This is like aliens. That's interesting enough.
I mean, we would still literally have the alien invasion. Like, I don't think his dad knowing would change that giant plot happening, but like...
He calls Ugly Duckling and Run of the Litter, who are singing beautifully dated karaoke.
If you wanna be my lover, you gotta get with my
Yeah, a foot-sized joke in Frozen gets a PG, but singing about the qualifications of being someone's lover? Every toddler should see that!
For the next 73 seconds, these middle schoolers will be singing the Spice Girls Wannabe, which was super popular 9 years before this movie was released. So I now fully expect a kid's cartoon to be singing Blackpink and Selena's Ice Cream in 2029. Goodbye if you want to be my lover, and hello, take a lick, but it's too cold to bite me.
Let me guess. You haven't told your dad yet. Well, there hasn't been any your dad, talking.
There was talking. There was definitely talking.
He legitimately talked to his dad.
That's why I dislike this character, because she thinks she's like the authority.
And she's like 12.
Well, actually, she's 36 based on her voice.
I mean, that's like her character flaw. It's not supposed to be like something you like about her.
What's the good thing about her? It's like her redeeming quality.
She is there to be the love interest for, I forget Chicken's Little's name. Is it just Chicken Little?
It is literally Chicken Little. His name is Chicken. They got so creative.
His first name is Chicken.
And last name Little.
I just want it out of my life, gone for good, everything back to normal.
But normal is Chicken Little as the social pariah. And even though he just accidentally hit himself into the position of a super popular baseball chicken, that was maybe 2 hours ago and really can't count as the new norm.
Or how about this nugget of family okayness?
Remember when that icy blue stuff fell from the sky and it just turned out to be frozen pea from a jet airplane?
Yeah, that's right. It's frozen pea.
If someone improbably asked, this is exactly how I would describe the plot of this movie.
I love my kids' films to have towns getting pissed on. It really need more of that in Winnie the Pooh.
This is why Fish is amazing, is because he just never speaks, and I wish nobody in this movie could speak.
Yeah, you wish it was like Minions where there's like barely any actual speech.
He shows them the device, but it accidentally sucks up Fish out of water, and they go to save him.
Volunteering for a surefire anal probe.
Love the idea of that glow stick scraping through all those panels for some reason.
Chicken Little has something to tell you. Tell him. He can handle it.
Did you not notice the power go out?
It only went out in his room.
The panel through that single breaker.
It's like my basement.
Yeah, except your like overhead light was off, but then your Xbox turned on, but then my phone couldn't charge. The AC might have been on, but the rest of the house was off.
I really want to plug a hair straightener into a random outlet of your house.
Ooh. Wow.
Damn, they just left the scoreboard numbers up there? I'm sure they wanted to rub it into the taters and all, but as evidenced here, those suckers would be toast in a moderate windstorm. Dude, why is it taking so long for them to land? If the aliens are trying to be discreet, this is not the way to go about it.
We should get another movie about tornadoes with more tornadoes. It should be named Mornado.
There's never been another tornado movie in the history of movies.
No, it should be 2 NATO.
3, 8. By the time you get to the 9th one, as to respect Fast and Furious, it'll just be T9.
Abby, wake up! Come on, let's get out of here!
What was that about? Ooh, it's amazing how none of this is like the original source material at all. I hope this doesn't become a thing.
We find out that these aliens have been coming to Earth for the acorns, but I find it hard to believe aliens would land where their spaceship is highly visible before exiting to go gather nuts. I suppose they could have scanned for life forms, but then these 3 little kids would have shown up on their radar. Hell, Fish, who is inside their ship, should ping their alarm system at the very least.
Oh, snap.
Is he the only one with a normal name? Because other than him, we have Duckling, Fish, and Chicken.
And then Runt.
Why wasn't he just like Pig?
Piggy Wiggy.
The only thing that isn't Doll in this movie.
There he is, the little dude. Okay, Jude, why do I think of your cat every time I see this?
They act very similar in that they are the most obnoxiously chaotic beings in the world.
I get out of the pressure.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Just leave me some ammo, little water, some chips if you have.
Runt is the best part of this movie.
I think the best part of this movie is like the credits.
I looked up Chicken Little to find out who the VA for Rent was, and it defaulted to Chicken Little 1943.
1943?
Yep.
Steve Zahan.
He's the dad from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, which you should watch that video if somehow you haven't already.
Oh, he was in Tall Girl 2, the movie of all time.
Wait, there was 2 of them?
Yes.
I didn't even know there was 1.
I would say let us know if you want us to watch Tall Girl, but it's just a boring movie.
Do the thing you do to relax.
Well, isn't Runt a teenager? If so, you're going to need a socks, some lotion, a magazine, and I'd recommend clearing the area.
We're running back to your house and you're gonna tell your dad.
Yes, surely the obese middle management widower whose peak was in high school will be able to solve this intergalactic crisis.
Where next?
Either that or they're just marking off places they've already been. If I cross off a day on my calendar, I didn't destroy the day.
That sound is really great. That is such a nice thud. Whoever did the Foley for this movie was on top of it, though.
And that is the only time during this entire movie that we see Fish hydrate the rest of his body. His face is basically aces as long as the water is changed regularly for oxygen, but the rest of his body should be a dried out strip of scaly leather at this point.
The aliens find the kids, though, and try to attack.
You know that part in The Life of Brian where the aliens pick up Brian when he falls off the roof and he goes on this brief out of nowhere adventure that ultimately means nothing to the overall plot? I feel like the filmmakers only saw that scene and thought, if it's good enough for Monty Python, it's good enough for a Disney feature. Comedy. I mean, these motherfuckers can travel through space and time, gathering futuristic data and potentially colonizing worlds, but they can't find a few animals in a goddamn cornfield? Remember how at the beginning of this movie I suggested that children would be traumatized by all the screaming and mayhem? If that part of the movie didn't do it, this alien horror chase will fuck them right up.
Gee, I wonder if a crop circle joke is coming up. Great! Just throw a door at them and a glass of water and they'll be beef for life!
What happened? I blacked out there for a second.
Given the pacing of this movie, I can confirm Runt is a lucky, lucky bastard.
Bing, bing, bing.
No one uses Bing anymore.
Josiah, we're doing this call on MSN Messenger. What are you talking about? We use Bing all the time.
Thomas still uses Bing.
Well, Thomas is wrong.
So we've got anchovies and Bing. That's strike 2, Thomas.
That better have been for a joke, Thomas. Please let us know.
If you use Bing, you're done.
I would take DuckDuckGo before Bing.
Everyone here uses Yahoo like a real person.
Be a man. Come on.
Why the hell is a bell the only way to alert people in this f***ing town? Earlier we saw all the kids on their cell phones, so it's not like there are no other communications up in here. I know it's not a common experience, but it's a freaking school bell, people. Why is everyone on this sharp of an edge, ready to immediately mobilize? Also, they went through all this shit a year ago, but everyone's still immediately fooled into believing this alarm?
Chicken Little rings the bell alerting the town, but of course, the aliens go away and no one believes him again.
Can't wait for everyone to be disappointed in Chicken Little, because for some reason the aliens can move at Mach 5 when it's convenient.
Chicken Little, you better have a good explanation for this.
Where are their cars? Why is anyone hoofing it up to the school when we've seen so many vehicles around town? Use your f***ing brains!
Hurry up, please, we need quite What are we looking for?
Field. I like how the camera guy was like, I better look up at the commentary box. That's the best place.
It's the acorn thing all over again.
Hey, there's no story here.
Well, at least we can sell the video to Chickens Gone Wild.
I don't know what's more disturbing, the fact that there's a show called Chickens Gone Wild or the fact that a little boy qualifies to be in it.
Jeez, Little has some friends. They're the only witnesses that could back him up. Sure, they come in all wild-eyed a bit later, but they're nowhere to be found once the cameras start rolling.
Eyes are glowing and the tentacles.
Front, that's enough. Don't make Mommy take away your Streisand collection.
Okay, can the remainder of this review just be me speculating what kind of animal Streisand is in this world? I'm gonna say anteater. Of course, he looks to his dad for support, who completely turns his back on him yet again.
Dad! I'm not making this up. You gotta believe me this time.
No.
It's the chicken who cried wolf.
That's really a chicken in sheep's clothing.
See, kids, the moral of the story is to never trust your own parents to back you up when you need it the most. No? Oh. The moral of the story is to fear public rejection and bend to the social pressures of publicly punishing your children. Got it.
I'm really sorry about this, everyone. Looks like this is just a big, crazy misunderstanding.
They designed him with 2 apple seeds for eyes. It's amazing he sees anything at all.
Well, other than the penny, this whole evening was a wash.
Oh, shut the f*** up, Turkey Perky. You were in a candlelit bubble bath beneath the stars moments ago. This night was great.
I love looking at this grass texture.
He looked at the book that said talk because it wasn't clear that him and his dad have no communication. Closure! Like, stop. Don't you say it. Don't you say.
If there was ever time to talk to your dad.
Closure. Closure.
Baby, now it's too late. They really didn't try to make it.
Runt.
He just talks in song lyrics. It's amazing.
I genuinely love that his face turned like a color of red during that. That's the one animation thing they did that I was like, yeah, that's kind of funny.
Runt, I really just want to be alone right now.
One-eyed sneak.
One of the aliens is left behind though, and I do have to give credit that they could have gone with just a generic alien design, but they do get creative by putting Rainbow Bright shoes on troll hair.
Discount minion.
Let's be honest, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull would have been a little better if this was the alien. Thus, he ends up befriending Little.
Here, blow.
Are you made of trains? What is that sound? What?
He is indeed constructed from trains.
That's the weirdest sound to use for that.
I tried to think of the logistics of something made out of trains now.
His name is Kirby?
Then They left him behind?
Darth Vader's Luke's father?
Oh, come on, Lucas. Films are the only human movies we get out here. How aren't we talking about them more?
There's an entire alien civilization just above them.
Okay, I love the aesthetic of the sky coming apart like that. That's one of the really nice visual things in this movie that I think is kind of cool. I like a liminal space like that.
Man, I don't know who started this war first, but I do know that it's not the animals of this city that scorch the sky.
But the sky breaks apart for all the town to see, and the aliens start invading looking for their kid.
Those are your parents? And they brought the Galactic Armada?
For some reason, I'm willing to believe that all the animals of Okie can understand each other, since they all speak the same language. But I'm not buying that Little can understand the alien creature like Han and Chewie for no goddamn reason.
We gotta go!
No, wait, Dad, I gotta tell you something.
What? I know, you were right. Alien invasion. I see that now. Look up.
Okay, for the amount of assholiness we've been putting up with, that's not enough. We need, like, the entire town to bow down to him like Return of the King. You keep getting copyrights for other songs. How about Howard Shore score from that moment?
Forget it. You know, you wouldn't believe me anyway.
Son, come back! Son!
Forget it, Buck. It's Chicken Town, where they play Chickens Gone Wild. Seriously, what was that?
Given his track record, we understand why you don't believe him!
I hate how slow they run. Everyone just runs.
It feels like Madden, where it's just way too slow for the animation.
Attack of the drones!
Oh!
I don't mean to come off like a broken record here. I just can't help but wonder how this movie is absorbed through a child's lens. Sure, Foxy Loxy is a bully, but she's also defending the town and instantly evaporated for it. It'll be 10 more minutes of shenanigans before anyone realizes she wasn't murdered. And when we see her again, she's traumatized, and then transformed into a new person entirely. Anyhow, back to the laughs.
By the way, for the amount of aliens looking for this kid, how can they not spot Conan O'Brien's pubic hair running through this gray, colorless city?
How are they not finding this child? Like, look at these lights.
Literally, they're going everywhere but the orange ball of hair on the ground.
Yeah, he's the brightest thing in the shot. He's brighter than the spotlights.
If you've noticed, instead of like being stationary and using their searchlights, they're like, wee, fly. There's like 50 of these ships. They have enough to see if this kid's there, but they're like everywhere.
While obviously ripping off Spielberg's War of the Worlds, though apparently not obvious enough as they literally have to tell you.
It's like War of the Worlds out there!
And this isn't a parody of The Matrix?
Funny, I was thinking the same thing, but there's no Tim Robbins acting paranoid and Tom Cruise awkwardly throwing a baseball, so I'm afraid your point is moot.
Buck catches up to Chicken Little and they try to work things out.
You're never there for me. I mean, you were there when I won the big game, but not when I thought the sky fell. And not at the ball field, and certainly not now.
This is good. Keep going, keep going!
No, skip, big clucking skip.
Didn't realize, son.
Oh wow, the conflict is resolved this quickly, by the way.
Hey, you know what movie that we recently made fun of that did this whole...
Cloudy?
Yep, Cloudy did this way better. And it was earned.
Your mom, she was, you know, she was always good with stuff like this.
I'll never forget the day she never came back from Panda Express.
Yeah, this exact line right here, too.
The thing about Cloudy was they accepted that they're different, and in this movie, he's just like, sorry.
That chicken reminds me of Billy Joel for no reason at all.
Me, I'm going to need a lot of work.
But I have to tell you, I still plan on making a ton of holiday-themed movies with giant casts of A-list celebrities because I honestly can't help myself.
But you need to know that I love you, and I'm sorry if I ever made you feel like that was something you had to earn.
I mean, granted, any love I've shown for you has clearly been done through earning it, but that's not what that's what I intended.
Dad, we've got a planet to save.
We've got a planet to save. Wah.
Oh, and he kisses Ugly Duckling because their relationship was so special they decided to spring it on you at this very moment.
The way I'd like to say, I've always found you extremely attractive.
And here you thought Zach Braff had terrible chemistry with Natalie Portman in Garden State.
People with bills kissing sounds like the worst thing ever.
She just snaps her spine around in a really awful way.
Now that's closure.
Now, if only you showed how it started.
Stop saying closure! I'm gonna close your face!
That was the shock from the whiplash she experienced.
Take the key to the city!
Look, Don Knotts was an American goddamn treasure, and the fact that this was his last vocal performance in a feature film after a legendary career is definitely a sin. You're my boy, Don.
Oh, they've given her an alien mind wipe!
His screams are just made.
What is plan B?
Well, it's that thing when you spermaculate a bit too early, but you don't want to let her know. But afterwards, as you're wilting, you find a way to tactfully suggest that she runs to the drugstore to get you some Tylenol and maybe something else. I'll totally pay for it, by the way.
No chickens.
Like, you just saw what you needed. Just take it and leave.
Even when they do find him, they don't turn him over. I think it's a safe bet any of these ships will get him to his parents. But if they're anything like Chicken Little's dad, I'm just assuming they disowned him already.
They not have like infrared scanners or anything?
No.
Hey, where's the USB drive that gives the kid back to the parents? That would make this perfect.
They take away the USB drive from the mothership and all the other aliens shut down.
So, the beam doesn't poof the metal trash can lid, but it will disintegrate entire vehicles, people, keys, houses, and Tic Tacs. Got it. Let me just update the growing list of bullshit here. Okay, carry on.
Fire truck!
Porcus ex machina. Come on, ain't no motherfucking way there are more than 10 floors in this building, even with the bell tower.
Hang on tight.
This works.
Ow.
Ew. Ew.
And ow.
How is this like a Disney like animated movie?
Disney's made a lot of garbage. You know that.
No, they haven't. They have only ever made perfect movies and never have made a mistake.
Good Luck Charlie exists.
Specifically the Good Luck Charlie movie, which was terrible. Like, the show I can forgive because it's like okay for a decom, but the movie is awful.
It's terrible.
Don't these things have vaporizer rays that have shown to be really effective during this invasion? This is like Harry Potter getting into a fist fight with Voldemort at the end of Deathly Hallows Part 2.
They make it to the roof and try to get the alien to the literal mothership, but they get beamed up and talk to the alien's dad.
Release the child.
Okay.
Sweetheart! Oh, Kirby, I'm so happy to see you, my darling!
Ah, yes, she is so relieved to see her son that she forgoes their native tongue, speaking perfect English for all of us to hear.
She's like the most Midwestern alien ever.
Why is that a trapezoid?
Because trapezoids are like half of another shape.
You have violated Intergalactic Law 90210.
I recognize that number. That means it's funny. It'd be nice if there was some connection to that zip code that gave it some relevance, but just me recognizing it is enough. Writing. Words are hard.
Disintegration!
Oh, snap.
Something a putz like Chuck the Cluck or whatever the his name is would definitely say in this situation.
Oh, look, another camera bouncing. Also, what movie did this first?
That's a really good question. Someone in the comments, without sounding like the nerd emoji, tell us.
Actually, the very first movie that did this, it was in like 19 whatever, I don't care.
You can say anything you want to as long as you don't put the words fun fact in front of it.
Or actually.
I suppose I should
Put the big guns away?
Yes.
Welcome to Murder Trivia Party.
Turn it off.
No.
Hi. Anyone want to try the big voice?
I do have a big voice, but I can make it even bigger.
But the son comes in to save them and returns the town to, how did Willy Wonka put it?
Their normal, terrible old selves.
I cannot tell you how sorry we are for this whole misunderstanding.
Also, we have the technology that would unlock the secrets of the universe, but we'll leave that to you guys to figure out on your own after we rebuild this hole of a town. Good luck, bitches.
That is, except for Foxy Loxy, who seems to have lost her bully tomboy ways.
Oh, lolly, lolly, lolly.
She got her brainwaves a little scrambled during reconstitution, but no worries, Wade can put her back the way she was.
No! She's perfect.
Macking on a cognitively scrambled woman that's just barely survived an alien abduction.
Ha! The little girl her parents raised is dead, but show tunes!
Lollipop, lollipop.
Darling, look at the time. We better get a move on.
I guess I shouldn't be shocked that Disney merchandising has made it to planets off the map, but having Mickey with a third eye, isn't that kind of like alien blackface?
I like to see the movie they make about you now.
I just hope they stay true to what really happened.
Oh, son, these people are from Hollywood.
This irony's so thick, Tony Stark is making a suit out of it. The movie is, of course, overblown, ridiculous, and has no connection to the original tale, and the film version they watch isn't that good either. Now you can throw your head back and laugh. I gotta give credit to casting Adam West as Macho Chicken Little, though. It may be the only funny scene in the movie.
The sky is falling.
Commander Little, no!
Please call me Ace.
And yet it's still more accurate than The Blind Side.
Abby, at least I still have you.
I hate this part.
Abby.
Ace.
Abby.
Ace.
Stop!
Hey, that's not how the popcorn trick works from all the ways I've heard it described.
Chicken Little, the dad, and the audience are happy with the movie though, proving this film's moral that facts and deeper meaning don't mean shit as long as you're satisfied for the moment.
God damn it, the dad is still taking credit from his son. Has he learned nothing? I thought this was a parable or some shit, and that is a lie.
Don't go breaking my heart.
I couldn't if I tried.
The credits roll with Runt and Foxy singing a duet. Because that's really funny. You know, because of all their interactions that they had with each other and now they're complete opposites. Oh, you know the interactions like this couple seconds and nowhere goddamn else. Chicken Little, it's about relationships. Question mark 5 explanation points?
It's all falling apart. I'm erasing you and I'm happy.
This is not only an unfunny film, it's just kind of a rotten film. Everyone is so needlessly cruel and not in a fun way. Had the world, characters, or environments been better realized or defined, maybe the meaner jokes could have worked. But it just tosses you in awkward cruelty after awkward cruelty. I guess there's a good lesson about parents and kids listening to each other, but it's done with such bland and or unlikable characters that it's hard to take reasonably. And on top of that, it's just not the story. It's like if the tortoise and the hare had aliens and the moral is never trust a wolf in sheep's clothing. It just doesn't add up. I hear a lot of people grew up liking this, and if that's the case, I can't fault the message it's trying to get across. But as Disney films go, this is a spoiled egg worth passing on.
I don't hate this movie. It's part of my childhood. I just think the animation's garbage.
It's so slow. It's really dull, like the colors and like the lighting. When I was watching it, I was just like kind of bored the entire time.
I think, like video games, we should get full-on remakes of animated movies now from the ground up. Just keep the dialogue and go from there.
I'm surprised that isn't a thing. Maybe it will be in like 20 years.
Disney will do that. I guarantee you, if any company's gonna pull that crap, it's the company that decided we wanted to see lions in live action.
Well, if you guys like ugly things, you should check out the video where we found the world's most cursed places.
If you know of any other dumb animated movies we can watch and rip into, put a comment down below this video.
Or tweet it at us at Society of
I would prefer it facts. Hit me up at my contact email, sharkboy@net.
Is that real?
That was real. Have a